Hey guys, Eric and Terry here to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the episode Among Us Hide. Full spoilers. That's a reference to the Inhumans' first appearance, by the way. So full spoilers if you haven't seen that episode. Okay, you're still here. Let's talk about that big reveal at the end.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I was legitimately surprised by the fact that Andrew is apparently Lash, or Lash is Andrew,
yeah.
or something.
Ben is Glory. Glory is Ben. I was too, and I really have to commend them. S.H.I.E.L.D., it's such a turnaround from what S.H.I.E.L.D. was in its first season. And one thing in its first season was it was kind of very laborious in its pacing often, and now it like moves really quickly. And yeah, I mean, I thought for sure, because when you think about it, they only even revealed that Lash had an alter ego 2 weeks ago, and that was the last normal episode, given what the uncharacteristic one was last week. So I thought for sure we'd get a few episodes of the like mystery of it, but nope. They went right into it.
But you know, I think that's for the better,
Me
because
too.
it's less time letting us try to puzzle it out.
Yeah.
Especially since, I didn't really think that it was going to be a main character. I thought sort of like what Daisy and the rest did, that it was going to be some side character. But the first question that pops to my mind is this the Andrew we've always known, or has Lash somehow infiltrated and taken on this Andrew persona?
Right.
What do you think? Did that cross your mind at all? Am I overthinking it?
It didn't. I mean, the thing about Andrew is it's not like we know him that well, right? Like he made a couple appearances last season, and he's more important so far because what he means to May, So there's still a bit of a blank slate to him. I mean, it was funny because this was the episode where he had that scene with Simmons that was like a little different perspective on him and his point of view. So I think it's gonna be real that he is Lash, Lash is he. But what is the story behind that? Who knows?
And which is really interesting, because even though yes, we only know him as viewers for a short period of time, like he's been in May's life for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think the implication is that he, like Jiaying and people last season, has been an Inhuman for a while, or maybe he was triggered. I guess I'm making a lot of assumptions right here. But I think there will be a certain amount of retconning if he has been Lash the entire time and had this double persona, because that completely changes his relationship with May from the very beginning, I think.
But there's a lot of questions, because when you think about, I keep wanting to say the last episode, but it was really 2 weeks ago. But the last time we kind of saw Lash, there was some dialogue he had because he was working with that guy who he then killed. Dialogue about how this is something he has to do almost, that it was like whether
a compulsion,
or is he being controlled or something. But it was something like he said something about like, I take no pleasure in this, but it's something that, So the fact that he was also sort of psychoanalyzing Inhumans, it's like, is this some sort of strange, like, this is for the greater good thing he's doing?
And I think that's what Lash thought he was doing in the comics as well. He was going around and he was sort of judge, jury, and executioner for whether people deserve to be Inhumans or not, which I think is a really interesting concept. And I also, when we found out that Lash was going to be a character this season, people jumped to say, oh, he'll be the big bad. But I think that backstory, even if the comics wasn't going to be the same as what it was on the show, is still, there are like a lot of shades of gray there. And I think having Andrew, someone who we know, who we like, be Lash, keeps pushing it along that journey. I don't necessarily think that I think Lash is going to be something they have to deal with, but I don't think that he's going to be like a great villain.
Finding out so early that it's him, and also knowing they're splitting the season again, with Agent Carter coming on in the middle, I don't think it's just going to be, it's him. I mean, certainly there's going to be a lot to deal with there, and I'm guessing there's going to be a pretty big, like, S.H.I.E.L.D. versus Lash fight. May versus Lash, really. Come on, you gotta.
But can it get any better than that May and Bobby fight? It was so good this episode. That was excellent choreography.
But the husband-wife brawl, I think, is something that they will have to do, right?
Yeah.
But I think you're right that it won't just be that he is the villain. There'll be more to what's going on and who's behind it. I do also want to say that I think you're totally right that it was a smart move to reveal it now, because the longer they didn't reveal it, the more it has to be someone significant, right? It was so early that, I thought, right now it could be anyone. It could be just some random guy, or that, I can't remember the character's name, the sort of henchman working with Rosalind. But if they'd waited a while, then it'd be like, then we'd all start thinking, well, what about
For a moment,
Andrew?
I almost thought it might have been Rosalind.
Right?
I was like, that would have been really fun.
That would have been interesting.
Constance Zimmer would have done a very good job transforming into this beautiful beast behind us.
And before we go, we should also mention, like, this episode brought in Powers Booth's character. We're talking about heavies and villains. Who is strange because the press release didn't explicitly say he's playing his Avengers character, but he totally is.
Right.
Like, obviously it makes a lot of sense. Oh, he's one of the heads of Hydra, and he in Avengers, he was kind of this a-hole working for the council that we then later revealed, there was so much going on with Hydra anyway. He's such a great villain, and I don't know if it's as simple as he's the main villain, but he's clearly going to be a new menacing presence on the show.
I especially like how he sort of played, maybe he played Ward. It's not entirely clear whether he's aligning himself with Ward, whether Ward is in over his head and he doesn't quite know it yet. So I thought that was a really interesting dynamic. And they, again, this season have really been playing down Ward, only bringing him out when they really need him. And as we keep building, and I've really enjoyed, the bottle episode we had with Simmons last week, and I've enjoyed the sort of exploration of the Inhumans, but I'm ready for more Ward. I'm ready for like a big Ward episode where we really get into the Hydra stuff, which I don't think we've quite had yet.
Yeah, I feel like bringing in the Powers Boothe character is going to start to elevate that. I do have to say that Werner von Strucker went out like a chump, just like his dad. So the von Struckers in the MCU, they just were not destined to have much happen. But let us know what you think. Obviously the Lash thing is what we're all talking about right now. Did you think this was a well done reveal? Did it genuinely surprise you like it did us? And for plenty more on S.H.I.E.L.D. and Marvel, keep it here at IGN.